You are born on a frozen slab of sea ice somewhere near Antarctica's frosty underbelly. There's no gentle sunrise, no birdsong, just a blizzard of biting wind and the faint, distant groan of cracking ice. Welcome to life. Your mother is a tank, 12 feet of cold-eyed apex predator. She doesn't coo, she doesn't cuddle. She just feeds you, glares at everything else, and shoves you back under the snow if you squeak too loudly. But you're fine with that, because the moment you can waddle and blink at the same time, you discover your first great enemy, your reflection. You spend hours face planting into the ice, trying to challenge your own face. Sometimes you win. Mostly, you get a snout full of snow. And that's when you decide, survival is serious, but being ridiculous is just part of the job. Eventually, Mom pushes you toward the edge of the ice. The ocean gurgles below, pitch black, freezing, and full of things with teeth. You leap anyway. Big mistake. Your first swim is less majestic water glide and more flailing meat torpedo. You thrash. You sink. You somehow inhale water with your mouth closed. But then, instinct kicks in. You right yourself. You float. You make it back to the surface. Victory. You bark in triumph and immediately inhale a floating hunk of seaweed. One day, your mom just vanishes. No warning, no ceremony. Just a long dive and the echo of bubbles. You call for her, no answer. So you lie there for a while, heart pounding, unsure whether you're now the main character or someone else's lunch. And then you decide, fine. If no one's going to take care of you, you'll take care of yourself. Your first act as an independent seal? Biting a chunk of ice because it looked like a fish. It wasn't. You learn quickly that hunting is less about skill and more about humiliation. Your first fish chase ends with you slamming head first into a chunk of floating ice. The second time, you catch a clump of seaweed and swim around proudly until a Gentoo penguin literally laughs at you. But you're persistent. You study penguins, watch how they dive. You mimic their movements, stalk from below. And one day, it works. You grab a penguin mid-glide. It flaps, screams, kicks you in the face. But you hold on. You thrash. You bite. You win. It's messy. But it's dinner. You eat. And for the first time, the freezing ocean feels like home. You grow fast, strong, sleek. Now when penguins dive, they scatter the moment your shadow moves. You're 12 feet of silent death. Your body cuts through the water like a dagger in a snowstorm. You're the whisper beneath the ice that makes prey freeze before the cold does. You take down fish, squid, even the occasional young seal if you're desperate. You don't like it. But hunger doesn't care what you like. You start to enjoy the silence until it's interrupted. One day, while sunning yourself on a floe, you hear a splash. Another leopard seal. You immediately puff up like an inflatable threat display. He does nothing. He just floats nearby. Not too close. Just there. You eyeball each other for a while, ready to lunge, until he does something unexpected. He sneezes, loudly, embarrassingly, like he inhaled a krill sideways. You snort. The tension breaks. Over the next few days, he's always around. Never annoying, never aggressive, just comfortable. You don't name him out loud, but in your head, he becomes Drift. Drift is different. He's clumsy in shallow water. He once misjudged a jump and belly flopped so hard onto the ice that 2 penguins fell over. He snores in his sleep, loudly. You once thought it was an underwater quake, but he's also a phenomenal hunter, smooth, strategic. He doesn't talk, but you get him. And in this kingdom of silence, having someone to drift beside makes the cold feel a little less sharp. You and Drift migrate south to chase prey, gliding between towering icebergs. Then comes the river, a wide stretch of open water between 2 slabs of sea ice. Dangerous, but doable. You both dive in. The water is colder than usual, murkier. You feel a shift in pressure. Then, movement. Orcas, 2 of them. You signal, Drift veers. You dive hard, twist beneath an outcropping of ice. A massive tail sweeps past. Close, too close. You surface, heaving. Drift pops up next to you, eyes wide. That was too close. but you made it, together. You and Drift swim farther south. The ice is thinner and the prey are harder to find. The ocean feels different, quieter. The silence doesn't comfort you like it used to. Then, one morning, he's gone. No splash, no blood, no signs of a struggle. You circle the floes, wait, dive, wait again. You call, just once. Nothing. You find a patch of water with the faintest scent of blood. Not much. Barely enough to mean anything, but enough to mean everything. Maybe it was Orcas. Maybe he left. Maybe. You'll never know. But in that silence, something cracks. Not the ice this time. Something inside you. Later, while scouting the edge of a melting floe, you hear a cry. A Weddell seal pup. Alone, shivering. No mother in sight. You approach, instincts sharpened. He freezes, terrified. You could end this in seconds, but something stops you. You remember your own first moments alone. You remember Drift, snoring, goofy, loyal. You back away. Let someone else be the monster today. Then, a few weeks later, you spot a juvenile leopard seal, tangled in a human net, panicked, bleeding. You hover nearby as a research vessel inches closer. They struggle to cut it free. He flails, eyes wide, blood leaking into the water. They succeed, barely. But as the boat leaves, the pup sinks. Tries to dive, fails. You watch, you wait. He won't survive the night. You turn and swim away. This is your home now. And your home is changing. Not long after, it's your turn. You surface near a boat. Big mistake. Pop. A sting in your flank. You thrash, but it's too late. They've tagged you. You are no longer the ghost beneath the ice. You are trackable, measurable. A blinking dot on some human screen. You hate the buzz. You hate the wait. You hate being known. The seasons shift. You age. Your muscles aren't as fast. Your dives are not as deep. You return to the place where you were born. The ice shelf is smaller now, thinner. You drag yourself onto it, alone. You close your eyes, listening to the wind. For a second, just a second, you imagine Drift snoring beside you. You smile, and then you let go. You weren't just a predator. You were a hunter, a partner, a survivor, a ghost, and, occasionally, a ridiculous, clumsy, sardine-chasing ice missile with a soft spot for pups and a crush on a sneezy seal named Drift. You weren't meant to be tracked, tagged, and studied. You were meant to glide silently beneath the ice, untouchable and wild. And now, part of that wildness is gone. But your story still echoes beneath the waves.
If you think the leopard seal's life sucks, check out this video.